Welcome back to another one from Advanced. We're over in the motorhome side today just because it's such a stonkingly big vehicle. Big old crafter, 71 plate crafter. It's pretty, well, it's empty at the moment because customer is already started. I think they're converting it themselves by the looks of it. So they have gotten it to a point where it's still open enough for running cables and things, which makes our life easier because we fitted a factory low-line camera, and that has been run all the way through to where we've then fitted a Halo 11. So obviously the brake light from the roof obviously just looks like this, and then we fitted the factory number that has the big old camera that kind of hangs off the end, but all fits in factory location, so it looks like it would do as if it was spec'd from factory. So we've replaced that, and then running everything forwards with all the standard looms and all the other stuff that he's run, so his speaker cables and various other bits and pieces, but we've made sure our loom is well out of the way so it doesn't get in the way of any work he does in the future. We've then replaced the factory head unit. I can't remember which one it is, admittedly. It's, it doesn't say on top of it, but it's one of the relatively basic ones with the physical buttons. It hasn't got the like touchscreen buttons and things, no nav or anything. Did potentially have App Connect, so probably had CarPlay, but obviously we've now updated it with a Halo 11, which is nice. And because of that, we've then had to fit a new vent surround as well, which involves switching the vents into the new surround so that we can deal with the single DIN aperture that we then require, that's also slightly smaller than that large hole. But when we have a look in the at the front, I'll talk you through that a bit more. So let's head to the back, have a quick look at the camera, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, it's just a standard factory light camera setup, brake light setup basically. Just sits on there. It's nice and solidly made. It's all, you know, it's not going to end up coming loose or anything. And because of the decent wide angle view you get on it, you'll be able to see all the way down pretty much the back of the van, but then also a nice distance out behind you. So you're not just kind of looking at the floor, you can actually see out a bit. So you've got a decent idea of what you're reversing up to, and then that's obviously coinciding with the factory sensors and things, which admittedly on this step have been a bit beaten up, but yeah, it all still works and all still works together. So what we'll do is we'll jump in the front, we'll give you a quick view of what the reverse camera can see, and I'll talk you through the Halo a bit and how it fits into a crafter. So if you're able to look closely, you'd notice between the vents here and the actual kind of aperture for where the drive of the Halo sits, it's a much larger gap now than here, because obviously this hole was a lot bigger. So this is why we have to have a new surround for everything to fit into, because we then have to, you know, we're reducing it essentially. Even though we've got this big screen, we are reducing this to a single DIN width of, you know, like an older style head unit, and you can tell that by even the width of this drive section here of the crafter unit that is more kind of singled in width, but then it just gets widened out to the whole thing. So that's why we've had to fit a new fascia. And then the other thing that's different with crafters compared to things like transporters and stuff, with a transporter, once you get all of this out and you're into the kind of void where the head unit goes, there's just a big, deep, full section that you can just fit a unit in there. Difference with the crafter is there's a lot of stuff going on at the lower level behind here, so there's mouldings and venting and things like this. So with fitting a Halo, you have to make sure that the drive section is up in the highest section. Now you might think, oh, you know, that means I have to have a Halo like a 9-inch or an 11-inch because otherwise it's not going to fit. You can have an in-dash unit like a 705. It would just have to be a particular model that has the drive section sat at the top like this. So you'd still have a 7-inch screen that sits in the dash, but the drive is on the opposite level. It has its own part number. But so, you know, you don't have to have a Halo that sticks out. Some people don't like them. Some people find them to be a bit too much. So it does still mean you can have a 7-inch in-dash unit. But going back to this one, lovely big 11-inch screen, and because the vents are nicely far apart, the screen doesn't seem too big for the dash really. Obviously it's a much bigger van, doesn't seem to take over it. We've lowered it a few mounting holes just so that it's not then cutting across your view out of the window, and to be honest with you, I think it looks really smart. It's a good looking unit. You've still got a little bit of tilt on it as well, so you can still tilt it up and down depending on how you want it to be, but because they're a HD screen, you can have it absolutely flat and it doesn't matter what angle you're looking at it from, you can see everything really nice and clearly. And then in terms of functionality, well, just works like a Halo. Works like all the rest of the Alpines of the same age. You get all the same features and functions and things. You know, Tidal's on there, CarPlay as you just saw, which is wireless or wired. In this vehicle, pardon me, we've run the USBs that you get just down to this little pocket here. They can be a bit longer, but you don't really need them to be. We figured that was a nice, useful place to have them. Also, a little bit easier just because of how busy everything is going on behind the dash. There's not a lot of room for just freely running cables and things. So that was quite good fun. So if you were going to fit one on your own, it's not just open to just running stuff wherever you want. But yeah, as you can see, we've got wireless CarPlay, everything's just working away, really nice clear screen, nice and clear for Google Maps as always, as you've probably seen on many of our other Alpine videos. And then as we've fit a reversing camera, we'll just pop that into reverse, switches over, and we get a nice big 11-inch screen showing the back of the van. As I said, we can see all the back doors, the rear steps just here, but we can still see a nice clear view looking right back, and we can see the cars that are all the way back here. So if you're reversing up something, you can see it from a long way away. That's about it really. And that is that's the parking sensors coming into play. That's a Halo 11 into a 71 plate crafter with a reversing camera, factory low-line reversing camera. And if you've got a van like this and you want it updating and just make it a nicer unit to use, vehicle to use, sorry, get in touch, use the contact form, give us a call, come and see us, and yeah, we'll see what we can work out for you. Thanks again for watching. Check out all the other videos. We'll see you again soon.